Welcome to the Lotco Business Podcast, a show all about helping you as a retailer, brand or creative understand the actual business side of running your business. I offer straightforward practical advice about the nitty-gritty of making money from your creative passion. We will be covering bite-sized business and marketing lessons as well as interviews with experts and trailblazers in the fashion, homewares and design industries. My name is Melissa Robbins. I'm a business coach, colour-loving, non-coffee drinking Melburnian. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to today's podcast. I am very excited to welcome today two guests that have been trying to get on for a little while, and we have known each other for a little while. So this is very exciting that I have them both here today. I have Alicia and Jacinta from The Little Potion Co. So welcome along, girls. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a long time coming. We're glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about what The Little Potion Co. is.
So we make mindful potion kits for children. So little boxes of magic, of ingredients that kids mix together, but they all come with affirmations and spells for creating a positive mindset. So it's not just a play activity, but it's about, creating magical moments with parents and caregivers and children. And we're still working 4 years in. We're still working on our elevator pitch.
I think because there's so many important factors that come into our product that it's not just a play activity. You know, it has a purpose, and the purpose is to help children, in difficult times and start that kind of positive mindfulness from a young age.
Yeah. And I think that is that important difference, isn't it? That you really, and I think you've just changed some of your products to make sure that they all include that mindful activity. Is that right?
Yes, we have very recently, a few weeks ago, gone back to our original purpose of, we kind of launched our first two products, and then they went really well, and then we just needed more products because we had already had return customers. So we did more play kits, we called them, that didn't have the spells and affirmations, and they sold really well. But it's just, we got to a point recently where we just wanted to go back to our original purpose. There's other brands on the market now that do potions, and we just wanted to kind of focus on our original purpose and our core values with our product as well. So we've had a big overhaul of everything, haven't we?
That's exciting.
It's been a lot of work.
Yes, I can imagine. It's always that I guess that's a big part of what we can talk about too, in terms of that you're never just, stay still. It is an evolution. You're always thinking, how can we improve, or how can we be more about, who we really are and what our why is and what we want our unique selling point to be and the unique difference about us. And I think that's good, because you're always changing and evolving, and you're not staying still and just, resting on your laurels.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so let's go back a little bit, because we want to get back to, the early days as well, because we have known each other for a little while. I think you're in, Alicia, you were in my membership when you had your retail store, and that's what started our journey together, as well as then you won the Life and Style Scholarship, which we'll get to in maybe a little while. But when we first started working together, I know that, Jacinta was working full time. You were sort of running your retail store, and it was very much a side hustle with The Little Potion Co. Let's talk about, how did you actually get started, and did you always want to do something together?
Yeah, I mean, it really, the way it started was literally because I think William must have been about 6 at the time, my son, and he wanted a potion kit. He was obsessed with Harry Potter and anything kind of a bit spooky. And he wanted a potion kit for Christmas, and I couldn't find anything. The only things I could kind of find on the market here in Australia were like science-based kits, and as much as they were still fun, that's not what he wanted. He wanted something that had things to do with, bugs and creepy crawlies and things like that. So I made him a potion kit with all natural ingredients, and he loved it. And from that, I was talking to Alicia about how I really wanted to make something like this just on the side, just both being creative people. And then I sort of started talking to Alicia about, but how could this be something that's real magic that can come true? And that was where we were discussing, well, you can't do a love spell and make someone fall in love with you, but you can do a self-love spell. And that was kind of where it really started. And Alicia wanted to bring in, she loved the idea of bringing affirmations in, as we know that, that's such an important aspect in people's lives today that can help. And that's really where it started from. And I said to Alicia, I think I want to make a business. And she was like, I want in. And we created.
It's just such a great idea that, I mean, we didn't know in the beginning how great it was going to go and how much we would have grown, but I still knew it was a good idea. And we just both we used to both play potions and create mud pies and flower perfumes in the backyard as kids together. We're sisters, and we just wanted to bring that back into our own children's lives. And we kind of were already as well, just doing play activities in the backyard, but we just knew it was something that was missing in the market as well, that we had a literal child sitting there telling us they wanted this product and we couldn't find it. So
with what you said as well, because you obviously had the retail shop too, Alicia, so you knew what was out there and you knew what was available, and obviously that probably gave you a little bit of an access point to test the market a little bit too and see if that worked or if people would respond to it in that sort of format.
Yeah, absolutely. And my store was our first retailer, first stockist. So it was a really good way to test the market. I had a lot of customers with kids that would come in and I could talk to them about the kinds of products that they were looking for. And I knew, and that's one of the reasons with the affirmation cards, I knew how popular they were for kids. And it just, it was a really good starting point having that little store of mine. So I feel I always say that I feel lucky, but there's been a lot of work to get here. So it's only a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work.
There's definitely been a lot of that. So with your new products and designs or ideas, is that, do you get a lot of customer feedback, or do you get feedback from your own children as well about what they want? Or I guess you get data feedback too about what's been popular as well?
Yeah, we definitely still use our children for inspiration now for new kits. My eldest William, who still says that this is his company, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have it. He still is coming up with ideas all the time. We just brought out another, we have what's called these colour fairies. They're like a fizz in a bottle, a little magic dust that you add to water and it fizzes and bubbles. And we've always had some that all have their own different attributes. There's like a brave fairy and a calm fairy. And one day William was given something from someone at school that I said, that was really lovely of them. We should give them a colour fairy as a thank you. And he said, well, Mum, I think you need a thank you fairy. And I was like, yes, we do. One of our latest products that came from William, because he thought it would be great to have a thank you fairy that you could give someone as a gift to say thank you.
Yeah, and definitely customer feedback as well. We are always getting requests for certain spells more so than kits, I guess. That kids have a certain issue that they're dealing with, and then products that
this
kind
is
of
a way to encourage conversation and talk about certain things, and have, as you say, positive ways to deal with issues that might come up.
Yeah, well, we keep getting asked for a monster spray, and although we haven't done that yet, one of our latest the kits that we redid was our monster mashup kit, and in there's a potion to help calm the monster inside you, and it can also help to banish bedroom monsters as well.
Yes.
It's a bit more kind of open-ended as well. So
And so when you first started, obviously let's just, right now you've got a warehouse, you're increasing in size, you've got new staff coming in. But when you first started, you were just out of your backyard, you were mixing it yourself, you were doing everything by hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, we started on our kitchen benches, both from each other's homes.
In the
Then
back of my shop.
yeah, Alicia was making potions while she had no customers, and I was working still full time in doing interior design. And yeah, we then kind of moved it into, I had an office out the back of my place. So we kind of moved in there, which I think was one of the first times when we then started chatting to you, and we just had like buckets just stacked on top of each other out there in in the tiny little office.
Yes.
But I mean, we still to this day are very, very handmade. Yeah, we still mix everything by our physical little hands.
Well, we've got a few machines as well, but not, that's something for the future.
You're progressing to be a little bit more automated. That's definitely something I think, that's what we worked obviously on way back, of like how to get to that stage of not doing everything yourself in the business and how to add other people help you. So who have you got in your team now? Who's your staff right now?
Yeah, I mean, when we've been in this warehouse for 2 years now, and when we moved here from my backyard, I think there was 5 of us out. Sort of on and off. We had one full time, and the others were sort of casual. But going into that busy Christmas time, they were there full time. And I think there was 5 of us trying to squeeze into this little 6 by 4 meter office. So we moved here with them 2 years ago, and we are about to look at moving again because our space is got too small, and we've just put on another three people as of literally today. We just had another interview with someone today and put them on as a like a Christmas casual. So I think there's
9.
Yeah, I think there's
us.
Yeah.
So are they a mixture of production, customer service? Like what sort of jobs do they do for you in the business?
Yeah, mostly production, because it is very handmade. We did have someone doing customer service who has unfortunately just left us, but we're hoping, a couple of the new people might be able to help out with a bit of that as well. We have considered outsourcing it as well, but it's just hard when you've got, you're packing orders in the warehouse, and a lot of the stuff is about, people wanting to change their orders. So it's really handy to have someone, down in the warehouse that's on top of it all. So,
and we just put one of them on to focus on wholesale. So a wholesale coordinator to help Alicia and I with that as well. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's been amazing.
And so in general, like what would you say is your breakdown between selling online, your own direct to consumer, and you obviously do markets, and then you also sell wholesale? What would be your split that you, whether it's percentage of sales or where are you at now?
About it used to be 30%, but it's definitely growing very quickly at the moment, especially coming into Christmas. So it probably is more than that now, but we are still doing a lot online, which is amazing. And of course, you kind of make more money on those sales, which is, not more money, but you do. You make more money, but
you make more margin on those products, but you obviously you have to pay for acquiring customers and all the other things as well. So you know that I talk about this a lot.
I know. And postage and shipping is killing everyone at the moment. Yeah. We're also really lucky that some of our orders are just like, people love potions, and we get some really big orders as well, which is amazing.
I think we've
what
been
does
really.
that mean, a big order? What does it mean to other people who don't know what big big is different for everyone, right?
Well, look, our average order value is about 100 it's gone up a bit at the moment to about 130, but it's usually around 110. And like one of our kits, our biggest kit's $59.95. So we have a lot of accessories and things like that. So that's great.
So our biggest order, I think we got it last week or the week before. It was from the US. So it was about $1,800, which was about 2,800 Australian dollars. So that's like probably like 3 or 4 wholesales just for one customer. But I think for our retail, we've been really so like we've been really good at picking sort of add-ons, I guess, that really align with our potion. So, once we started adding things that kind of just worked with our potions that we don't need to spend time on because we just buy them in wholesale ourselves, I think that really bumped up our average order because now most people would buy a potion, but then they'll want to buy like a cauldron or a bowl to go with that and some spoons. So yeah, that's what's really helped get that margin up.
So yeah, and that's the thing, like, and I think that's where conversations we had early on, it's like, yeah, can you do stuff that requires less of you, or you want to have the uniqueness and you want it to be special and put together by you, but then not everything has to be that way. And I think you've obviously refined that as you've gone as well, in terms of even what's inside your kits. You don't have to have everything in there. That can evolve, and making sure that you're pricing what the components of the kits cost. You're always looking at that, right, and trying to see how you can edit that and change that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we looked at that before we even started, because we knew that we couldn't get the price where we wanted it to. We released 40 kits for the first time. I can't even remember how many pieces we bought, but
I think we bought 100 units of everything.
But we got a quote for, if we ordered 1,000 units, what that price would be, so we knew what we had to work towards as well.
Yeah, so you could in the future see it could get better, essentially, your margin.
Yeah, and we knew that if we could get there, then once we could wholesale as well and make more sales, then we could afford to get the price down.
Yeah, we always knew we wanted to wholesale as well. So when we brought the product out, we made sure that we were keeping that in mind for our retail price, what we would then want to wholesale it for.
Yeah, and I always tell people, Mel, about your guide that you have as you've got a
pricing guide.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
So useful. And I think that's it. Well, a few people have said to me about the spreadsheet within the program, like they use it every day still. Like it is something that people use. Like I want to sell it for this price. So what target price do I need to work with my manufacturer? Like knowing those things is, it just helps you have figure out your supply chain or figure out your manufacturers or start that sourcing, because you've got an idea about if you wanted to sell it for this price, what you need to achieve as a landed price and stuff.
Yeah, and I think, I was lucky that I had experience with purchasing things wholesale already. So, I kind of understood that.
Well, it means that you've got enough. You need to have enough profit to be able to reinvest in the business, right? To source new customers or work with influencers or pay for digital ads, whatever it might be, or pay for a salesperson.
Absolutely.
How have you gone about growing your wholesale? Like, what does it look like to you? When you first started out, what did you do? And then what do you do now?
I mean, we were very, I guess you could say luck, but it was hard work to get to that. We applied for the Life in Style New Breed Scholarship, which I guess is what really started it for us, winning that. We had applied for that 2 or 3 times beforehand as well, until we actually won. But I guess that was really the turning point for us, was starting at the trade show at Life in Style. And the first one we did, I think we picked up 30 stockists just in those 4 days. And I think prior to that, we maybe had 5, which had just come from Instagram. Were just sort of local toy stores of people that we knew. So that really, really started it. And obviously we've continued year on year to go to Life in Style, and every year it's still been amazing for us, always picking up new ones. Obviously you'll get some customers just returning, but generally there's still, I would still say 70% every time is new customers.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And I guess...
Yeah. We do sometimes even pick up, obviously doing the markets, we do the retail markets like Finders Keepers and Big Design, but you do even get people coming out looking at those and finding out then if you wholesale. So we have picked up a couple of wholesalers just being at the retail market. And then I guess the other thing that works for us really well is Fair. The B2B marketplace there has been amazing for us.
Yeah, it's been really good. We've had a lot of new stockers find us on there, quite a few international ones as well that we wouldn't have found, if we weren't on Fair, or they wouldn't have found us potentially, maybe one day. But, that's been really good for us.
With your wholesale as well, you said that you've got a wholesale, someone who works with you now. So is that in terms of outreach to customers, customer service, just helping them reorder, all of that sort of stuff? So is that what they're focusing on?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but she's still so busy that we probably still need another person to help sort of with packing.
She needs a helper.
She needs a helper now to be packing the orders, so she can then be contacting all our regulars and asking them, seeing what they need and things like that. So yeah, we've still got a little bit of work there to do. I think we need another one.
Yeah. And I think that is important too. Like one of the things you did my wholesale program a few years ago now, but that, once you've got a customer, you want to you've got to nurture them. You've got to contact them. You've got to keep in touch because they're busy and they might want your product, but they just haven't had a chance to call you or email you or go on Fair and place their next order. Like it is really important to maintain constant relationships with your stockists if you are selling wholesale as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially some of the ones that obviously have a website, to be able to jump onto their website and see what they're out of stock of, to be able to email them and say, hey, I can see this and this is missing. Would you like me to place a new order for you? I mean, if you can do the work for them, it makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely. One of the things I wanted to talk about was your marketing as well. So you've done obviously a mix of different things. Can you talk to me a little bit about what sort of things you've put in place and which have had a big impact on your business maybe as well?
Yeah, it was all organic for the first couple of years. It was only in September last year that we started Facebook advertising. Before then, we'd done a few things. We've done a few kind of magazine ads and online kind of things, but the Facebook ads is what's really changed things for us. And UGC as well has been really good for us. Anything else? Jacinta does a lot of the marketing and
when we first got started, obviously we didn't have the money to do Facebook ads and we had no idea how to do them, to be honest. So we did give a lot of our product for free to a lot of people. We went in a lot of giveaways, but it wasn't a time a couple of years ago where giveaways did work really well on Instagram. They probably don't work as well now to acquire sort of new followers as much. So those worked really well to start with. And then, Facebook ads has been amazing for us. Email marketing, we aren't great with our email marketing. We
trying to get better.
Yeah, we must admit it's generally when we have something new to launch.
Don't tell Mel.
I'm like,
our email would be our best. I know, and you know what?
I can hear you already, Mel.
And I think because we do need to do it more because our email marketing is our best marketing. We send out to our, as we call them, our VIP magic mail, and we give them early access to a new launch. And they're the times on our website, you jump on our website at 8:00 when we've launched and there's anywhere from 80 to 120 people all on our website. And that's all from our email. That doesn't come from Instagram or Facebook, social media. It's our returning customers that have stayed with us.
And to be honest, that's what we're doing now. If we do a giveaway, we get people to sign up instead of just following. We get because we know that building our email list is the best option moving forward. And what also we didn't realize with Facebook is that the ads become more expensive the closer you get to Black Friday and Christmas. So at the moment we're doing, I don't know if we've set them up yet, but we're doing awareness campaigns on Facebook ads. So people then get onto our website and then we can retarget them with ads.
Yeah,
and then
because retargeting ads are cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah, and then getting people to sign up as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, lovely. If you're looking for a way to grow your product business without relying on Facebook ads or posting daily on social media, then I invite you to register for my free masterclass. This is happening very, very soon, and inside of this masterclass, I'm sharing the strategy behind building a profitable product-based business so you can attract consistent customers and scale to 6 figures and beyond. I also emphasize how to create a sustainable long-term business, which is such an important factor for me. I'm so excited to be teaching this masterclass soon, so make sure you go and register for your free spot by heading to the link in the show notes below. Now, just with that though, I know, because I know some of your history, obviously, that you talked about giveaways, but let's talk about influencers. So I know that you've given product away like micro influencers and also paid. Can you talk a little bit about that? And I know that you had a huge impact of one particular one in the US who I think organically bought your products, but then she just showed them.
Yeah, so her name is Kayla, and I call her a Disney princess, but she's someone highly influenced does a lot of things Disney related. So we knew her sort of customer, like her followers would be interested in what we do. And she actually found us on TikTok. And I realized that she started following us on TikTok, and then she came across to Instagram and started following us. So I realized you had to physically come and find us on Instagram. So I knew she was interested. So I reached out to her. So, I think it's a big thing for, if there's like, even looking at your followers and reaching out to them to send them messages to say thank you so much for the follow and things like that. And that's literally all I did with her. I thanked her for the follow and said, if you would ever like to try some of our products, we'd love to send it to you. And then we really got to, and she said, oh, that would be lovely, and sort of was a little bit short. And then we started just talking on messages. And then she said, actually, I think my followers would really like your product. I will do some videos around it. And I think that just came from, we were just organic, like we weren't pushing, we weren't
being genuine.
We were being genuine. We weren't trying to get her to do anything. I just wanted to send her a kit because I was so excited that I knew she would love it. And it came from that. So then she posted it, and I think we had about 50 orders over the next kind of 3 days. That all from America, that would have come from her.
And then we, after it went so well, we did then offer to pay her for the video,
Yes.
so we could use it for an ad. But yeah, everything that we've done so far has been organic, in that we offered to send people something and we haven't expected anything. We just know, we have the belief in our product that people will love it,
And they'll want to share it.
Yeah, and whether they share it or not, we know that they're going to love it and they will tell people about it. So, we've just done that as much as we can. And it's only been recently where we've started reaching out to more people for UGC. So actually paying people to create something to a brief, really. And that's more just so we can advertise, use ads for advertising that explains our product in a really quick way, with a hook and all of that, because the beautiful videos don't work so much anymore.
Yeah. So I guess if you don't know what UGC is, it means user generated content. So basically it's using people to create a video for you to use. You're not using them for their influencing, for them to be posting it on their platforms. They're purely a content creator, I guess. So we give them a brief of sort of things that we want them to say, so like features and benefits and things like that, and they send it back for approval, and then we pay them for that video, for then the rights to use that on our own platforms.
And I guess there's more and more of people doing that now. Like I know quite a few people offering that, which is great. And there's agencies and stuff you can use for that as well. But I think, as you said, like it's about when you're first going and first starting out, just being scrappy with that, and like, talking to people, it's about your time that you're investing and your product that you might send, as opposed to saying paying for people. But you are sending out products, so that is in your marketing budget that should be, sending some samples or products to people. And it is just conversations that are taking place, like really, engaging with people as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's that community building, and that's really important to us as well with our customers, our stockists, and everyone that's in our kind of community. We spend a lot of time nurturing our connections.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, it's still Alicia and I that run it. We don't have a marketing person that's doing our socials for us. And at the moment, I don't see us having that, because I think that's one part that Alicia and I really feel is important in our business, is that we still are connected and know what's going on, and getting to know our customers.
Yeah. And getting that feedback, as you said, because that's so important for your evolution and what products you bring out next and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why we've Alicia mentioned before sometimes that the markets haven't done as well for us, which is purely based probably because we have a kids product, and like most parents, you don't sort of just instantly buy kids products when you're out and about. But I think having doing those markets, like, we've learnt so much from retailers, that people that have no idea what we do, so explaining it to them and realising what works and what doesn't work.
And how to display your products and how it looks best, and even, as you say, like that evolution of your packaging, because you've like, no one knows what it is when the box is closed, or that you need some more information. All that sort of stuff is generated because you're getting feedback, or you're seeing the way people react to things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, we still know our packaging isn't 100%. That's something that we're working on next year, especially for in-store. It's not as great as it can be. And it's still, we're still hand stickering boxes as well, which isn't great. And we're only kind of just getting to the point now where we can potentially feel like we can spend the money to do that.
But also that's okay that you're starting out, like, you're only 4 years old, like, you're not, it is an evolution. And I think when I saw, packing up my business, when I'd sold my business, it was like 10 years or 15 years we had the brand. When I looked back and saw the first catalogues, and I saw the first, lookbooks and the first photo shoots, you're just like, the first swing tags, everything. Like, you get better and better and better and better. And it's okay when you're first starting out that you don't have all custom made packaging, or all, labeled bottles already that are, customized. You can progressively do those things.
Yeah, well, we have as well. It's funny, I was just thinking about the New Breed Scholarship, how we'd applied previously, but I think, our packaging had evolved even through that first year that we applied. But, we were putting stickers on bottles and
stamping bags,
which we don't do anymore. We get them all made now. So the next step is boxes and better packaging for some of our products for in store. But it's definitely been an evolution since we started, and keeps it exciting, but also you'd never finished in business.
Well, you can do things as you can afford them as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now, I hope it's okay to share. So you've shared with me before. You gave me a beautiful certificate when we were saw you at the huddle recently, and that was about thanking me for being a part of your journey, but part of that was that you'd just become your $1 million business. So you'd hit that $1 million in sales.
Yeah, we did 1.3 last year in sales. But the reality of that is, yes, it's amazing, and we are so grateful to everyone. But that week that we hit that sales, we had $1,000 in our bank account that we had to use to pay staff and buy stock. So
we couldn't even pay our staff. I think we had to use an overdraft to pay them that week.
But it just shows that you just don't know what's happening in a business. And when you have the growth that we have had as well, you have to put so much back into the business to grow it even further. So we're very excited that that was a milestone that we did not think we would hit so quickly. But I think it's testament to us and our work ethic and our staff and all of the people that we've had help us, like you, Mel, and many other people in business. And we've worked really hard. So
Absolutely. But I think just touching on that, like that is something again that you always need to be working on or figuring out, like your profitability, where you're spending money, what your if your prices need to change, or if you need to invest in different things to what you're spending your money on right now, and what does your cash flow look like over 30 days, 90 days, 120 days. Like all of those things are such a big part of business because, you can have $1 million in sales, and I'm not saying that you don't have enough profit, but at that time, it was obviously the sales were coming in, but you'd probably invested a lot in your product and had stock of certain things. So there's that balance, right, of always trying to figure it out.
We'd ordered early for Christmas for this year as well because we knew last year it was cutting it a bit fine. We ordered stock in July, I think, for Christmas last year, and we almost ran out of stock before it arrived, and we didn't want that to happen again this year. So we ordered earlier on in the year, and we ordered double the amount so that we could make sure that we had enough stock for Christmas. So it was a lot of outlay.
Yeah, a lot of outlay. And and that's just an important thing you have to try and figure out and understand, isn't it? Because as a product business too, you've always got to put back into your product. You've always got to have more product. So balancing out having not too much and enough to get the sales that you want, that is, that challenge.
Yeah, that's absolutely a challenge. I'm sure we're not the only people that are dealing with it.
No.
So,
that's where it's, always trying to get better at that sort of thing. And as you say, like you couldn't have the sales you wanted for Christmas this year if you didn't have more stock. So you ordered double so that you've got that opportunity to sell more. And now that if you have the actual product, then you've got obviously to focus on things to sell it. So marketing, obviously doing some more markets, having some more, figuring out your Facebook ads or the way that you're going to retarget, and as we talked about, emailing your customers more.
Yeah, and that's something we learnt from you, Mel, was kind of looking, like projecting how much money you want to make in the year and how much product you want to sell, so then you know how much stock you need to buy. I mean, that was for my retail store as well. I'd never even thought about it that way of like, you can't sell something that you don't have, so you need to prepare for that and do projections and that kind of thing, which we're still learning every day and learning how to do all of that. But that was really good. Yeah,
and that's okay as well because, and as you say, like you might want to be $1 million business, but you're not going to get there for 4 years because of the different growth periods that you've got to go through, or like let's say, as we talked about, like reverse engineering stuff. If you want to have, $300,000 in wholesale sales that year, well, how much does each store need to buy? So then how many stores do you need to have, or how many times would you want them to reorder? Understanding those sort of numbers is good to figure out, because then you're like, well, okay, if I need to have 50 stores and they order, I don't know, how much each, then you need to, that gives you that plan or concept of where to focus as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you suggest to others about investing in from the very start of the journey?
Well, we've already talked about getting your pricing right from the beginning. I think that's really important. We spent a year researching and developing our product before we even launched. So I think that's really important too. I mean, I'm not saying everyone needs to take that long, like we were working and things like that, but just making sure you've come up with an original idea. You have you make sure all of the names and the trademarks and all of that is available.
I think also creating a presence, like you can, even if you're working on a new business, like creating that presence on social media even before you launch. We created our Instagram page 6 months before we launched our website.
Yep.
And we showed a lot of behind the scenes things, and slowly as we got closer to the day that we were going to launch, we were doing countdowns, and I think we had about 600 followers before we even launched our business. And at this stage, because where else were we going to market? We didn't have any emails because we weren't a business yet. So it was social media. And that the day that we launched our business, because we had 600 followers that knew we were creating something, we had an order within 5 minutes of launching our website. They were waiting for it. And I think that's because we hyped it up, and we hyped up this excitement. And we tend to do that a lot with a lot of our sort of new releases or a season release. We really hype it up. So there's that, creating that demand.
Yeah. I think the building anticipation for something is so important because, yeah, as you say, like you want to not launch to crickets. You want to sort of have some people, whether it's even just an aesthetic that they're attracted to, like you don't necessarily have product that you're going to post on your Instagram when you're starting out, but it's about starting to tell your story or putting the visual imagery together that sort of connects to your brand or the values, and following people maybe who would be connected to the product as well, but just sharing who you are. And I think I remember one of my students when I taught at Fashion Institute, she did that for years, and she actually launched to 10,000 when she first started, and she just built up this aesthetic of, and this was a number of years ago now, so but her brand now is all things golden, and she's like got a huge following. She created this amazing fashion brand back, I think it was probably over 10 years ago now, that when I worked with it.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the same as us. We didn't have enough on our product, but
mood boards.
But we also we had children, and the space that we were moving into, which is this very kind of nature play type thing. So we
magical play.
So there were people that we started following that then did monthly challenges to do with nature play, and we would enter them, and we would use their hashtags and things. And so by the time that's those 600 people, they were other parents that sort of loved the same type of things that we did about nature and connection and things. So
your perfect target audience.
Even if we weren't creating a product, we were still creating a community of the same like-minded people.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's perfect. And as you say, like even and doing that now too, like not just going, oh, here's something new on our website, here it is, but building it up and having the countdowns and having the exclusivity for your subscribers and and launching maybe your product online at the same time as your retailers can do it too. So really sharing in that as well.
Yes. Yeah, we really try to do that, and we love our subscribers. So we really, there's been certain product releases that we've released just to them and no one else, because we knew they would sell out. And why wouldn't we give, the people that are loyal to us, why would we not give them the opportunity to buy it all first?
And so would you change anything about your journey? Like, would you do anything different?
I don't think we would. I always say that every mistake is a learning, and every day we're learning. And I always think that if we had done anything different, then we could have ended up on a different path. So I can't think of anything. Can you think of anything?
Not particularly. That's what everyone says. If you knew, what was it? If you knew what you know now, like you'd never do. For us, I would say, if we knew how good it was going to be, like we potentially could have kind of done things a bit quicker, a bit faster at the start. But and I think because we had that time and we were slow and steady. Any mistakes that we have made, we've learnt from them, and they've never been huge, major mistakes. They're just
because of that
learning.
I say slow growth, but I mean it has been big, fast growth. But for us, I guess we keep thinking of things we could have done as well. But we just wanted to keep, we've had offers of investment and things like that, but we just want to keep control of what we've got, and we don't want to go crazy, because we want to be able to control what we're doing. I was just thinking though, if we had have known that, we might have maybe moved into the warehouse faster or hired faster. But again, it's all calculated risks, and we still have had those calculated risks, but everything's kind of got to that sticking point where we're like, we either have to do it now, or just we're not going to be able to move forward. So, we're about to move into, I was just going to say we're about to move into a new warehouse, and we're scared because it's, double the price of what we're paying here, but we can't grow anymore here. We can't fit more staff and all of that. So it's a calculated risk, even though it's, really scary, and no one knows what the future's going to entail, but we're just, hoping.
Having faith.
Having faith.
Well, I think I was just going to say before that I remember when you were at the point of needing to go into the other warehouse, and said to you, like, it's a step that you have to take in the business, and you're not going to take it without risk, without, figuring out a few things and what's affordable and how much it's going to cost you and calculating out all the numbers. But yeah, being in business and being an entrepreneur means you do have to take risks. You've got to be prepared to think big or dream big to then, make it possible, because then, that's sort of part of having a business and why you're doing it as opposed to working for someone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now, where do you want to take the Little Potion Co? So what's next?
We've got so many plans. We need to sit down and write them all down. So, I think next year, subscriptions, a couple of collaborations, some licensing things that we're looking at. Yeah, get into more US stores. Mm-hmm. Grand plans. We'd love to be able to have a US website and all of that. But
so thank you so much for sharing everything here today, Alicia and Jacinta. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure so many people will take, lots of different things from hearing about your journey and go and check out your website and, find out a little bit more about the Little Potion Co. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to sharing this story with everyone.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Mel, for having us.
Thank you. All right. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Lotco Business Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you subscribe to receive future episodes as they are released. And I'd be so grateful for a review on Apple Podcast. If you would like a copy of the show notes or any of the links mentioned today, please jump onto my website at thelotco.com.au/podcast. Have an amazing week, and I look forward to chatting to you again soon.